From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. AccuWeather meteorologists have a particular area in mind when looking for potential tropical activity in the Atlantic basin through the first half of August. And it remains close to the United States, just as it did for Bertha during the middle of July. A zone of waters surrounding Florida, the Carolinas, Cuba, the Bahamas, and Bermuda remains in the spotlight that has perhaps the best chance of cooking up a tropical depression or tropical rainstorm over the next couple of weeks or so. Now, this area will represent somewhat lower atmospheric pressure when compared to other spots, so it may tend to foster thunderstorm activity on its own. AccuWeather lead hurricane expert Alex De Silva said there will be a couple of fronts that drop into this region and slowly decay. Waters are sufficiently warm in this region to foster tropical activity, and it appears wind shear will be relatively low for a time compared to most prior weeks so far this summer. The approximate critical temperature for tropical development is 80 degrees. Wind shear occurs when disruptive breezes are blowing from one direction or many different directions through multiple layers of the atmosphere. High wind shear can prevent tropical development or cause a developed tropical storm or hurricane to lose wind intensity. Now, one way for a tropical depression to evolve in this area would be if a cluster of thunderstorms organizes into an area of low pressure and separates from the front in the region. Such a feature would then have an opportunity to develop spin with a uniformly warm core instead of a non-tropical storm that relies on temperature contrasts on either side of a front. De Silva said that because this zone under scrutiny is so close to land areas, given the conditions, it has to be monitored as there may be minimal notice if a tropical storm were to form. A quick developing tropical storm near the coast could bring sudden heavy rain, rapidly deteriorating beach conditions, coastal flooding, and damaging winds. AccuWeather's team of meteorologists expects a below-average to average tropical storm and hurricane season for the Atlantic basin this year. Now, these lower-than-average numbers, relative to the historical average, are the result of an already potent El Niño, which tends to suppress tropical activity in the Atlantic due to prolonged wind shear. Meanwhile, on the Pacific side of Central America, an above-average tropical storm and hurricane season is forecast, in part due to warmer-than-average waters in the tropical Pacific associated with El Niño. Now, recently, the first two hurricanes of the Pacific season formed. There was Fausto and Genevieve, which are named storms 6 and 7, respectively. The Atlantic has only had two tropical storms so far, with no hurricanes yet. However, both tropical storms brought direct impacts to the U.S. Much of June, July, and the first half of August are typically rather quiet during hurricane season in the Atlantic. Historically, the number of tropical storms and hurricanes ramps up significantly during the second half of August through mid-September. That's all for now. You can find regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, stay weather aware, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.